Getting going here. Hello, test, test. Sweet. Whoops. Alright. Trying to get an Agricola going. Looks like the game started and I accepted and I'm having a refresh problem. Accept. There we go. Yeah, weird. Okay. I just joined a table, so it was draft 8, ox, and miners at the same time. That allows a few more combos to happen, which can be okay, but it's not actually what I usually draft, but we'll make do. Sorry, settings. Okay. We see big country in this hand, which is very good. Mining hammer is okay, but not incredible. Yeah, small scale farmer, big country can work pretty well. You can run small scale farmer for quite a few rounds. You can make a big country happen really fast. I tend to believe in building at least one room with big country nowadays, but I am fourth seat also, which is unfortunate. I am hypothetically after the weakest player though, which also is part of why I don't like doing small house games. Is you have less control over the board, so you can potentially grow very aggressively with weaker players at the table. And I do have a hand here where between carpenter, brushwood type stuff, growing fast is fine. I also like conjure here a good bit, but I think I'll go small scale, big country as the basis of some ideas here, but I kind of really want to pick Conjurer for food, but it's just kind of slow food, or it's not great. It involves taking It involves me playing Conjurer and taking traveling a few times, and I just don't know if I'm gonna do that with some of the other stuff I want to do here. Here, I really like Priest if you're going on a small room, but the problem is it's not great. It's not great with small scale farmer. It's not great with big country because now you're trying to get a reno in there. But I also like I'm just not using storehouse keeper. The only reason I would want cottager is if I'm still going to get an assistant tiller, and I just shouldn't at this point of the draft. So I think I take priest. I think it has the best upside. These miners kind of just suck. Milk jug is really quite a lot of food, even in the mid to late game, and I often like it for that. Hand plow is also a decent alternative here. It gives me an option to at least like 3 wood, but adoptive is reasonable. Stonecutter is reasonable. Adoptive's okay. I don't like adoptive parents much though. You have to pay food to get the actions back, which is okay, but it's only really good if I think I'm gonna grow a bunch late, and without seeing a sleeping corner, I don't feel good about that. Stonecutter is pretty good though. Maybe you're right. Maybe just Stonecutter though. You see no world where we play priest. Well, I would go for the clay room and just push back the big country, but Stonecutter's probably easier. Hand plow or milk jug then here are the options. Hand plow helps make the big country go just a little faster, but I'm also after the week. Like the problem is I'd have to play hand plow pretty early though for me to want to play it. So I don't think I really want to. I don't think the weak player at this table is going to plow early either. Would be my theory. Kind of predictably, I do get past a plow driver. It just doesn't work with big country, which sucks because it's by far the best card here. But I guess I just take roof baluster. Roof baluster is okay. Lumber mill with stone cutter is good fun at least. But yeah. See, we'll see where this goes. Oh, I also have to, let's see, zoom. Did I change? I think I changed where player boards are. Yeah, not under, next to, there we go. Something like this, there we go. Well, okay, we do see a sleeping corner. We also see a loom. There's also scholar, groom, plow driver stuff going around. I'm kind of sad that I actually saw this big country first, but quality of the stream's nearly good enough to read the cards. Yeah. Um, can you click on the cards? I don't know if I have Marushka's new extension working correctly. Anyhow, big country games love Sleeping Corner. I mean, I also love Loom. Loom is also great, but the clicking stuff isn't working. Okay, I got a monkey around with that. I forgot that Marushka set that up, and so I haven't done that because yeah, that does help. I don't actually have a grain source yet, which is the only like mild problem here, but this guarantees I can reach 5 family members. It also means that I can go for the mega big country and not even build a room, although I still think I'd prefer to build the room. And then, honestly, do I de-draft the scholar away from the plow driver? Do I de-draft the house steward? I guess I maybe could still go scholar myself for late game improvement plays. I have some miners I might want to play late still. Maybe I use the scholar myself, and I'm at least half de-drafting a plow driver, I think, from somebody. But I mean, house steward, there is the carpenter. Somebody could have got a carpenter's parlor. Wow, I do get the conjurer back. Well, I actually do want grain now. I don't totally know if I have time to conjure in this game plan, but I don't see myself playing firewood collector on time. Just take the lutenist. Ugh, what? What's your plan for Sleeping Corner, CS? You're just going to take 2 manual grain? If I'm doing that, why not just firewood collector then, right? Firewood collector actually is enough wood to maybe be worth it. I'm never taking and playing lutenist, though. Firewood could be good too, yeah. I'm not taking lutenist. I kind of do want to take conjure, but I guess yeah, I'd have to play conjure, and I'm gonna have to take traveling at least twice, which is totally gonna prevent me from getting like a 7 or 6 point big country. I don't hate the firewood collector though, actually. The only slight reason I kind of hate it is because I think I'd prefer to just small scale farmer for a good long time. Maybe I do just run small scale farmer all game though. Huh. Is this the game where I just don't... Is this one of those games where I just don't grow ever? Or I don't grow until late, I mean, and hope that family growth flips in 12. Kind of hate making those gambles, but... the other one is either acorns or beanfield. I'm going to hope to get a pair of boar the normal way, I think, and just take beanfield for the point. You think this is a game where we're just never growing? I kind of think it is too, now that I'm thinking more about it. Because small scale is so strong with that sort of game plan. I can reno very late for just a couple points. I mean, then the scholar's not doing much, but if that's the case, gosh, I'm gonna take firewood collector then. I might find time to play firewood. Well, now adoptive parents actually is pretty playable on the wheel here. Priest is 100% not being played, but adoptive I have guaranteed growth, so I'm much happier playing it. I should just build stables anyhow, although there was an organic farmer in the draft, so drinking trough has some utility. Clay pipe's like garbage to me. Scullery is okay food, but I'm just never gonna play it. I'll take the drinking trough. I might actually... I think the next hand might have an organic farmer. I can't remember. And this is why you watch streams. Super nice. You just want to exploit my dog. Not growing makes it really easy for the others. I mean, that's true, but I also can get a lot of points. I mean, we'll see. I may choose to grow, but keeping small scale going all game is like... I can hit like 55 to 60 points pretty easily with some of the stone cutter... huge big country type game plan. Good boy. Yeah, that's from your friend Super. We went up to the family cabin this weekend, and so he's a little more chill than normal because he's actually had enough playtime this weekend. Got to play with all the other dogs and run around and swim and just be wild. So he's kind of been taking it easy today, which has been good. Scythe Worker here, actually, I forgot that might come back. Scythe Worker is a pretty decent way to get grain, as is Clearing Spade. Clearing Spade Scythe Worker might be how I get my crap. You're his friend. Good boy, hardworking. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm taking Scythe Worker, Clearing Spade. I think that's just, I don't want Corn Scoop. I mean, prior to that, that's how I was going to get grain, but I think I'm playing Scythe Worker and hoping to play Clearing Spade at some point. It makes Sleeping Corner a lot easier, too. So I'm really hoping to get Ock and Plow is the dream, but we'll see what happens. We're taking 2 or 3 rooms? Yes, we are. We don't know which. I think this is one of the rare 2-room games, so I kind of want to go for it just for the purpose of showing how it can even work. But to be honest, I think 3 rooms is usually better. But I think this hand could run 2 rooms and make it work. But it also depends a bit on the start here, because like I might not get Ock because bad players like this one will not take Reedstone Food here and they're going to play a dubious Ock, so I might get screwed. You really want to see Big Country from his streamers? Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to run Big Country. Oh, he does take Reedstone though. Okay, I can't knock the bad player too badly. This is the start I want. I want to play Small Scale Farmer. I can keep Small Scale Farmer going potentially, right up towards the end game and get like 10 wood out of this guy, which makes for a very strong occupation. It also helps pay for stables. But it does mean then I choose not to grow. So we'll see if I actually want to do that or not. But Scar is playing a Mushroom Collector and annoyingly is right after me. Mushroom Collector tends to mean you leave some extra wood on the board, and I really just want to take wood and plow for the rest of stage 1. I really just want to take wood and plow most of the game. Well, most of the early game. I would really like to plow 5 fields and then fence 15 in 8 spaces. That gives me 3 pastures, 5 fields. In the dream world, I'm, playing Big Country in like round 6 for 8 points and 16 food. Then the rest of my mid game looks like playing Clearing Spade, taking grain, veg, sowing, and then I'll have to do one more sow action later in the game. But grain, veg, Clearing Spade, sow will max my crop points. I'll want to take some animals. We do get plows, so the dream is alive. Red start playered with what? I wasn't paying attention. Wait, red start player nothing? Okay, we really need to make this start players a bad action video. Lumen and I have been talking about that, and it should happen, because yikes. Lumen played a Big Country. Yeah, Lumen has played some Big Country games recently. I think even just today on his stream he played Big Country, right? Yeah. But we do need a video about how, the bad players take start player way too much. Which may still mean that I build a room. I don't know. I'm gonna leave this space open for a room, or this space, I guess. I'll plow these other ones. But like, if the room queue just falls in a good way for me, I'll do it, but we'll see. Currently, the start is looking pretty good. I just get to take wood and plow. That's all I want. I do need a food action, so I'll have to take I'll probably need to take a 3 food action next round. Although I could potentially let it build up to 4. It depends on how everybody else looks. Wow, Sheep Whisperer from Scar. That's not a very good occupation. The only real reason he can be playing this, in my opinion, is because he has the loom. But even then, it's just like slow. It's so slow tempo-wise, and then you also like need defense to actually get those sheep. I'm not too convinced about it. As usual, nobody likes Reedstone food apparently. Um, Red took Reedstone food and Reed, and now takes 2 wood, leaving me Reedstone food or Ock. But I think I just got to stick with the plan. But God, I really want to like just go back into a slightly more normal game plan here, and push into the room queue and grow. But I think I'm gonna go for the huge big country. I think it's more fun. It's more unique. But passing on Reedstone food is very sad. I also think there was a Storehouse Keeper in this draft, and I could have just been playing that game, which I love to just play Storehouse Keeper and get handed Reedstone foods, but 2 plows in 2 rounds, CS is smiling. I mean, yeah. We do see a Brushwood Collector, so there's tons of Reed in the game. I am curious who took the Carpenter. It's not clear yet, but we'll see. Unfortunately, Red could open 3 wood here, but I think that's okay. I would prefer 3 wood, but I also just need food, so. You love that I've switched to this? Okay, that's good. I mean, I've been able to switch to this because, yeah, I realized it was a pain on my end earlier, but I switched around how I'm looking at my monitor and stuff. So for me, it's actually fine because I can see everything just fine again. It's not small and scrunched for me. Okay, Red does take 3 wood first. So I'm going to take food. The table's not that hungry, but I am. So I take this pile of food just because Conjure's in the game and Lutenist is in the game. I'd rather take it from this. I haven't seen Harpooner or any fishing stuff actually, so. Yeah, I have it just full screen on my massive monitor. I don't normally stream my whole monitor is what it comes down to, because then things are crazy big usually, but this works pretty well. It's a little hard for people on the stream to see everything if they're watching on mobile, which is the downside, but Green is building a room here. I wonder if that means if Green has Childless, that's pretty awesome for Green. We're really hoping to see late family growth. If growth does flip in 5, I probably will consider taking a 2-read action. The 2-read action shouldn't be too contested with a Brushwood Collector in the game. Red already has 3-read. Reedstone food isn't even being fought for. So I think that, wow, Red's start playing again, although this time maybe actually has something to play. Red does have a Carpenter's Parlor, so that's why Red was taking all the early read. Okay, I don't hate that. Red guarantees the next room, but I think that's good for me. It means Red's gonna start player a lot, and I also think it means my strategy of just not fighting for growth is kind of okay, because it looks like everybody else is gonna keep the grow pressure really high. We're pretty happy with this start player because I think it means I get 4 wood. I don't think Red's gonna take 4 wood. I think Red's taking other stuff. You're watching on your phone and you can zoom if need to. Okay, cool. Well, there's not going to be 4 wood because, yeah, that makes sense. Teal can just do this. Well, a little bit of a bummer, but there's at least 3 wood. 3 wood actions are good enough for me. Reedstone food doesn't even get taken. Green does have Childless. Very good for Green. This is still such a funky start, or like funky in multiple ways. Like Childless is very good. Replicat would really like this 4 food action. I just don't want the 4 food action because I really just want to push out I really want to get more wood so I could get to I really just want to be able to get to my big country faster, but I'm still debating building the room though. The room is not that many more turns. It does like really, the slight downside is that if I just let small scale farmer keep working, I get to stables also. So like the room comes with, like, the room has some anti-utility in the fact that it's going to cost me stable points. But growing allows me to do more. Wow, teal is start playing. Okay, he undoes that. I'm like, why is teal start playing? Teal just takes more wood, yeah. Teal needs reed as well. He takes 2 reed. Okay, well, with teal taking 2 reed, that slows me down a little in terms of my room building. Green takes the food as thought. Red's gonna double build here. I think that means I do just take 3 wood rather than plow. My wood situation is actually just a little annoying. I would have really liked to get a 4 wood grab somewhere in here, because I'll be at 10 wood at the start of this round and 11 wood. So 1 4 wood grab would be perfect for me, so that I could big country in round 6. So maybe I leave. I'm just not going to get a 4 wood action probably, because I also need defense in this round and big country is the theory. So I mean, the other option is to fence 14 and not have 3 pastures, only have 2 pastures, but then I can only breed 2 types of animals instead of 3, which kind of sucks. I mean, I could eventually get 1 more fence action in, but it's such a pain to fence 1 later. The other option is to delay the big country until like round 7, but delaying big country till round 7 is kind of sad. But regardless, I just take the 3 wood here. I mean, the problem is I'm just not gonna be able to fence in this round otherwise. Actually, I don't have enough time to do all this. How am I ever? How? I would have had to plow differently. I would have needed to fence really big in a way I don't like. Maybe I have to aim for big country in this round, which is kind of lame because sometimes you get big country in this round even if you grow. I'm just gonna take the wood. Set round 7's always when you get on 2 rooms? Okay, fair enough. Well, if it's round 7, I can definitely do this. This is fine. You can get it on round 6 sometimes, CS. Or, again, I would have to fence in a way I don't love, right? But you could fence 9 spaces. If you want to fence dumb. Okay, fair enough. Round 7 is where I'm going to get it if I actually want 5 fields and good fences, which the upshot of having all my fields and fences is higher ceiling that way too. So like delaying a couple points of big country isn't as big of a problem when I'm going to have all that. So please not growth. Early growth means I think I have to get in the room queue probably. Maybe not. I really just don't want it to be early growth. It's not. Okay. I think that means I'm for sure not building a room. I just don't think it's worth bothering. There's already a carpenter's parlor axe. There might be a carpenter, I'm not sure. Scar actually is most likely going for priest, it looks like. Plus, I would guess Scar has the plow driver scholar stuff, but you think it's too late to switch? I think it wouldn't have been too late to switch if growth flips here, because I think I could just get the 2 reed next round and still build a room, but I don't think it would hurt that badly. But I'm definitely not going to bother with it now. I actually don't know what this action is, though. Because I just really need to plow. I just need plow in the next 2 rounds, right? If I'm willing to fence again this game, actually I could plow fence 12 here. Fencing 12 is just filling up the space, and then next round I can plow big country, and then I'd have to go back to fence again sometime later, but I would get 1 more round of big country. I don't know how that feels wrong. Yeah, exactly. I don't want 2 food and J over an action, right? But so then what is my action here? Like, they all kind of suck. What else am I doing this round? Just taking 3 more wood? I mean, I guess. J is a point from Play Agricola. That doesn't make a lot of sense to others, and it shouldn't. I guess I just plow here? I mean, or do I just keep spamming the wood? I don't love this action. I don't really love taking more wood here. I just don't need wood that badly, but... I don't see what else to do, and I just don't... I mean, getting plow blocked would be actually... Maybe I'm supposed to just plow, because getting plow blocked is the most annoying thing possible for me. But I guess I can just fence 15 then, but... Teal is start playering. I really don't get this. He's playing a large greenhouse. Okay, I mean, this is his last round to get max effect out of that, but that's such a bad start player because he's I hate players that start player to gift growth to other people in the queue, but I guess I'm very happy I'm not trying to fight for a room because, God, that start player would be driving me absolutely nutty. But, like, the childless is already probably in the best position. It's childless with the first fireplace, by the way. So it's the first room and the first fireplace and childless, and now Teal just start player to help guarantee them the first growth. Like, it's such a bad start player. Don't do that, guys. Like, you don't need max effect out of large greenhouse. This one extra vegetable that you're getting in round 14 just does not matter for your game at all. And the value you're getting is just nothing there. Like, it's such a bad start player. Also, like, Teal has no good action left now. Like, what the hell does Teal do here? I guess Teal finally builds a hearth and takes the sheep because Green didn't take the sheep. That's at least that's actually not a terrible alternative here. Replicat is winning. I mean, I think Replicat's in the strongest position. I don't know he's guaranteedly winning, but, like, he has the first room, he has childless, he could have had the first sheep grab and fed himself there easily, but I was gonna say now Teal can build hearth and take the sheep next round, which is it's not quite happening. It's fireplace. Okay, but can I explain the conventional wisdom about not start player and during the growth queue? Explain what that terminology means. So the growth queue, as it traditionally develops, is that people build rooms and then they need to start player to guarantee themselves the next growth, right? So in a more normal game, I've built a room, or I'm fighting to build a room. Scar has room parts. We're both doing weird things, which is unfortunate because it advantages the players that don't. But pretend it's more normal. Everybody does normal things, which means takes wood, has room parts, has building rooms, trying to fight for growth. In that sort of game, you typically have to start player in order to get family growth the next round. Not having to start player is quite strong because, again, I'd like to loop back. Start player is a bad action. It's not a good action. You don't want to take it. If you watch the experts been playing on Play Agricola for the most part, like, we rarely take it. I don't take I've had games where I don't think I take start player at all, or I take it very infrequently, especially I don't take it much early. So anyhow, it's quite an advantage to get your growth without having to start player for it. So, like, Teal just got the first family growth of the game without having to start player for it at all, which is pretty strong. And so start playering for them is really annoying because Teal start playered, which meant Green was in position to grow first because Teal doesn't have a room. Normally, Green and Red would be fighting for that start player this round, and jostling for it and stuff. And instead, Teal helped Green out by not... Green didn't have to start player last round, whereas Green maybe would have. And so instead, Green got to take some other action. Red didn't have to start player this round either because nobody else has room. So, like, admittedly, nobody is actually start playing to grow. which is unfortunate. I mean, to be fair, I think Teal's killing his game because Teal is not in the room queue at all. Teal's being way too slow, but I know why, because I passed Teal the Priest, so Teal just really wants to Reno. So Teal is getting a bit killed by late Reno because he's going to Reno into Priest. But it does give so much advantage here to like Red, who's going to get to double grow and stuff, but yeah. The rule only applies if you're not in contention. Yeah, sorry. If you're fighting for family growth, you can start player. I just think it's really bad to start player for others' benefit. Like, if Teal was start player to grow first, it's a lot more defensible. Sometimes I think it's still wrong to start player to guarantee yourself first growth. Once growth has flipped, it's absolutely fine to start player to guarantee yourself growth the next round. But before growth is flipped, I don't really love start player much because you don't know when it's going to come. And so sometimes you're forced to like just keep start playering repeatedly in order to get the first growth, and that's kind of just a big wasted sequence. I don't love that Red has got all the stone actions, but that's just where we're at. Wow, Plow did get taken. That's actually really unfortunate. Green plowed because didn't have anything better to do. I guess I should have plowed before fencing, almost certainly, but I didn't. So, hey team, that sucks. Long term, I eventually need Reedstone food actions, I guess. Long term, I eventually want to play Scythe Worker. I guess I just take Reedstone food here, but yeah, this is a bit sloppy for me because I might not even get plowed next round because Replicat could plow again twice in order to sow. And then I guess I just build a stable, but like this is really sloppy and I've messed up a lot. In this deck, very few miners are useful early and they still spam start player. Yeah, that's the most baffling thing. People spam start player early and most of the miners just suck. You can, you absolutely can jostle to try to grow first. That's fine. You just shouldn't start player to try to help the people that are jostling to grow first because they're already going to have an advantage. Yeah, green is going to plow first. God damn it, guys. I messed that up. And it's also just a pain that freaking red didn't have to start player and the queue is messed up and green is wants to spam these instead of other things. Ugh, that's so bad. Oh, I've killed myself so bad this game. I mean, green knows that I have big country and they're the strongest player at the table and they've got too many advantages and I've thrown this game away to slop. But, oh, that's so freaking painful. Oh, my God. I can't believe I've done this to myself. God, is this even worth it? The reason that it sucks is because I have to take a food action here. I don't want to take a food action here. The stable action is pretty weak though too. I've already lost this game. I've lost this game because I didn't plow last round and I fenced first, and that's so sad. It's so sad. Oh my God. I can just take a 3-food fish action, but it's so weak. But the stable action is real weak too. I guess I just try to plow next round, but this is so bad. It's so bad. You would have done the stable? You might be right to have done the stable. You would have gone for Firewood Collector round 2, turn 1. I debated dropping Firewood Collector, yeah. I think that would have been very reasonable, but I didn't do that. That's true, Lumen. I could have dropped Scythe Worker last round. I was about to play Scythe Worker here, I think, because, well, the only other option is to take 2 sheep. Which maybe just take 2 sheep here. Let them breed a lot, actually, is best. I mean, I might not even get plow next round, is the worst part of this, because I'm still last. Red doesn't need to start player for their growth because Teal's being way too slow. Teal's honestly doing terrible things this game. Me not contesting growth is a problem because Teal is not contesting growth, and so these guys are getting to grow way too fast. I mucked up my own sequencing, and green correctly is punishing me, and green will almost certainly win the game, partly because of Teal just start playing for them. And life is miserable. Teal didn't Reno last round and let red Reno in front of them. I don't remember what Teal did first action. Teal took wood. Teal's still not Renoing. Teal has to have priest, right? Like, you gotta Reno into priest. It's the only thing that makes sense. Okay, Teal maybe is just building wood rooms. I don't know anymore. I should get plow here because green should take 4 wood. And then I don't think red is plowing over, I guess I don't know what red does, but red has no resources besides a bunch of stone and no food. So you'd hope red needs to anything but plow. But green very well could plow here if he judges that I'm the only other one he has to worry about. But he does just take 4 wood. But hey, hello AJK1013. Reedstone food from red is not necessarily what I would have expected, but all right. Anyhow, team, the upshot, the good news is we can play big country. The bad news is we're a mile behind what we should be. But maybe it's okay. I start player big country. I can get the boar. I can play a scythe worker. I can then try to get the veg. So still will largely max stables, max crops, max fields, get pretty close to max animals on sheep and boar. We should be able to max the family late with the sleeping corner. I can maybe play adoptive in here still. So yeah, it could turn out. I don't have a lot of else, but yeah. Now see them star player and improvement, it's possible, but do I consider the game fragile if someone can win mostly due to well, okay, so to be fair, green isn't winning just because of one well-timed first growth. And I don't consider the game that fragile. I do consider the game a little fragile or not fragile, but it's a little annoying that this game does have so much like in the draft and during play if you're sitting after the weaker players. Green is going to start player here, though. Green has a mining hammer. I think green is playing pretty anti-me, which is unfortunate. I mean, hopefully we don't see major here. Like, if we do, I mean, I'll survive, but ugh. Green maybe is going to take a pair of boars next round, but I can live with that. I don't super need the pair of boars right now. I do need to play big country super bad. I mean, 6 points and a ton of food is big. I still need food long term, which I don't have sorted yet either. One of the upshots is that scythe work or clearing spade does give me a chance to like rapidly maximize crops though. So that's the one upshot. But we'll see. I think the priority has to be try to get a pair of boars if I can. If I can't get a pair of boars, playing scythe worker, taking the veg action, and then prioritizing sow once I have a grain and a veg, prioritizing sow. I will have to play clearing spade to really rapidly get those crops going. That's okay. And then I do need to play sleeping corner in here at some point too. Yeah, I mean, this is where having more actions maybe would have been correct, but veg will be more contested than the Ak. Yeah, I'd probably take veg before playing scythe worker. Although the veg shouldn't be that contested. Like, Replicat has 2 veggies. Teal has a bunch of veg coming from large greenhouse. So, like, it's only red that wants the veg. And red, I don't know what red's doing. I also don't know what Teal's doing. Teal did not renovate this round. Teal played Carpenter. So Teal's just going to build a bunch of wood rooms finally. But this was way too slow from Teal. You think red got the plow driver? That's kind of what it's looking like. It's looking like these guys maybe passed plow driver all the way to red, which is also going to be pretty annoying. But I mean, the upshot is red doesn't have any food, and red can still grow here. But you might be right. That's a good call, actually. Red does look like they're trying to renovate. Frame Builder from Replicat. Maybe Replicat's going to renovate. Oh, no. Wow. Red is renovating and not growing. Huh. I mean, Red has to have, like, the plow driver groom at this point. And does have hearth. So the boar are never coming to me here. With weaker players, it's too good to go for growth, but once the ratings are realistic, the more creative strategies. Yes, correct. I agree. That's one of the like downsides of playing against players you don't know their skill level, and it's one of the things I've been learning lately. The bad players push growth too much, but still just growing and being able to control the board is too strong because they just take bad actions too often, and they let too many things go around the table. Like, nobody grew last round, which is crazy. Wow, I get the boar here. This is a huge mistake from red if they don't eat the boar here. I don't see how red has enough food. Okay, manservant helps the food, but it doesn't help this round. There's a harvest. I'm taking these boar. One of the few ways I can try to win this is to, like, at least keep people a little in check in terms of the food pressure. I mean, green took the stone because they're going to stone oven probably, I guess. But this is okay. This is okay. I take a veg here. I try to play Scythe Worker, get the grain in the ground. Then I try to play Clearing Spade and Sleeping Corner, probably. We're really hoping for growth in 12. I also don't have a lot of food for long term, so yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have my own problems, I guess, eventually. But green is finally going to build rooms, which would prompt red to grow, but red can't grow again here because red's food is too bad. So green will grow this round. I mean, I'm really happy that somebody didn't grow last round. That part is good for me. The less actions in this game, the better. The way Replicat is playing, it sort of seems like Replicat also has a Stonehouse Ock. I mean, I saw a groom. I mean, the whole nuts were in this draft. Scholar, Plow Driver, Groom, and Manservant are all here apparently. It's possible Replicat, I guess, is actually just building clay rooms, right? That makes sense. You could go 3 clay, 2 wood, build you a room. That's a pretty good room, actually, yeah. So Replicat's going to probably try to take some more clay and build a room. Replicat's game still looks pretty dang good to me. Red does settle for sheep. So yeah, I mean, red should have taken the boar. So I'm still very happy about that. I think I take veg here. Scythe Worker's coming. The board is going to be pretty crazy next round because nobody had good enough food to really be taking the resource piles right now, which is also just slightly... Oh, I didn't create this game and we have live scores too. I don't love the fact I'm only at 20 right now. That's not quite where I'd like to be, but... Will I be able to sow my stuff? Yeah, I mean, I have 2 rounds to be able to sow next round, like, and these guys don't have fields yet, so I think it's pretty safe, right? Because I'm gonna play. This is partly why I'm prioritizing playing Scythe Worker next round, is because then I'll have a chance to sow in round 10, and if I can't sow in round 10, I can sow in round 11. It does look like Replicat's gonna be left 6 wood here, because yeah, this is gross though. I mean, Replicat is having such a good game here because he's also being left 6 wood now. I mean, this is why, yeah, I mean, this is why I should just stop doing these strategies against weaker players. Like, growing is so strong just to be able to control the board. Like, I don't have enough control over the board here, and my opponents are not doing enough good things, and so there's too much value being left on actions. There's too many good, efficient actions on the board, and I'm not able to contest them. And most of what I'm doing this next stage is pretty lame, to be honest. I'm not contesting like anything anybody cares about, um, which is kind of a problem. Cow does flip. I would love to find a way to be able to take the two cows, um, assuming two cows gets left, which that's also a big stretch probably. But oh, there's not that many actions in this game yet. Because red still didn't grow, but red can grow this round, so teal's not going to be able to grow. Although I think I'd rather have teal grow still. Teal looks too far behind. Replicat gets 6 wood. I could take 5 wood, but I just don't have time for that. I'm going to play Scythe Worker. There's also 6 clay. 6 clay is a reno for me. Possibly a reno clay oven. Ugh. Is there a case for start player? Possibly, but I don't know if 2 cows are going to be left. And the problem is I still need to guarantee the sow. I think not sowing is even worse for me because I think it's worse for me. One of the big ways I think I still potentially win this game is if growth flips, and I think growth has to flip in 12. Growth flipping to 12 is huge because it means I actually get to 5 family members, and it means that I get all those extra actions. If growth doesn't flip in 12, I think I've probably already lost the game. So that's why I just don't know if the cows matter a lot right now. I mean, I'd love to get a pair of cows, but I think I gotta just worry about Scythe Worker. Well, maybe I have time for a pair of cows, but I need this sow. I need a sow. So I think I have to set up for it. Reno and milk jug with 6 clay. Yeah, that's not bad actually. That's a lot of food. I do like the idea of getting the milk jug out still, but I think it's more important to get the crops going because I need to get Sleeping Corner out. I mean, that's really the reason. I need Sleeping Corner. I guess as long as I sow here, I could start player with Clearing Spade next round, in which case I don't need to get Sleeping Corner down right away. But, I mean, the clay's gone now anyhow, which is totally sensible. Replicat's just getting, again, too many strong actions. 6 wood, 6 clay. Pretty gross. But red just has to keep taking food. Also pretty gross. Although red willingly took 3 food off the board instead of the 4 food cow, so that's a bit funky. I think I am just going to be nice and sow. The problem is otherwise green can sow on me next round, and that's just even worse. I do need to get Sleeping Corner down. Or not Sleeping Corner. I need to get Clearing Spade down. But I possibly take 3 clay and just reno Clearing Spade next round. I don't hate that plan. Or, no, yeah, I gotta get Clearing Spade down. So I think that's probably the plan. I mean, my real plan is to take 2 cows and, like, start player. But my other experience is that bad players tend to start too much. I am curious if red only has Manservant here. If red had Plow Driver, I would have played Plow Driver and then taken 3 food or whatever. I really doubt Plow Driver made its way past Replicat though. Replicat's a pretty strong player. I don't think they would have passed Plow Driver all the way. But and the only reason I say Replicat's a strong player is not even based on his rating, just the way he's been playing. Replicat at least actually knows what's up here. Like, Replicat's doing very reasonable things. Also, it is kind of looking like my Sleeping Corner is a little bit pointless, because nobody's even going to try to grow without rooms. They're all just building giant houses. Replicat is growing next, unless red finally wants to grow. So red maybe will start player into grow, in which case I would get 2 cows. That'd be pretty awesome. Not that I even have room to breed everything then. Red is start playering, probably for the grow. Why does red need to start player? To grow next, because green can grow now, and green is currently start player. It's round 10 currently. Now it's round 11. So red needs, like, if red just wants to grow normally here, yeah, like, red needed to start player in order to get this next grow, which I am happy they did. I also do get to take the 2 cows. I mean, that's fine. I don't really need to breed my animals this round. I can worry about it later. You thought growth with room is coming. No, growth with room isn't coming. But so one of the things you do learn very rapidly when you have only 2 actions is you have to look ahead real quickly, because I can't really dilly dally. Anyhow, I don't really care if I breed my animals, because I can't breed boar or cow this harvest, but it's okay, because I'm gonna end this game with 4 boar in this pasture and 1 in my house, 5 boars to cut off, and then 4 cows. So I only need to breed each twice, and I can just do that at the end of this round and this round. Now, I still do have to figure out where my extra food is coming from. The clay oven would be an option, but I need 5 clay for that. But that would be a pretty decent one, actually. Clay oven would be nice. But yeah, SSF been doing work. Oh, small scale farmer. Yeah, for sure. I mean, so small scale farmer is one of the best enablers of like big country without growing, because all this extra wood is just stables. You usually need stables for capacity. Like playing a 12 wood occupation or something is like crazy good, right? So that part absolutely is working well. The only small downside is I've injected so much wood into the game, right? My opponents are going to get lots of wood and still be able to fence, and they're going to wind up with big houses. So contesting big house type points is a little tough, especially since I haven't had time to play any other improvements. I didn't find a manger. I only got a 6-point big country. It's going to cause me some issues. My food is going to start slowing me down soon too, but and there's a hedge keeper, so there's just no wood pressure. So the joinery eventually might actually be fun, but I don't know if I'll have time for it. We're really hoping to see growth, but we'll see. We'll see if we get growth. If growth doesn't flip, I just take 4 clay and like Reno milk jug or something for some food. I don't know. I guess I could play adoptive parents in there, but adoptive parents is even pretty questionable given I don't have a lot of extra food, I don't think. And I don't have super easy answers. I mean, I do have great animals and crops and stuff, so like I'm gonna max out my crop points and largely max animal points. I have a stables action. Most of the rest of the game is just like take some resources, maybe think about building some renos and improvements, and really as long as growth flips, that's another 9 points. I breed a few more points. I have a 4-point stable action. I have a big sow action once I get all these crops back. Like I still have 50 points pretty clearly. But well, if growth flips. If growth doesn't flip, I'm down to like mid 40s. But if we get growth here, I still have a shot. I mean, I think Replicat's game's still going to be too good. But see, that early RSF doesn't look good. Yeah, I mean, the early RSF was really bad, right? I knew I didn't want to take it, and I just didn't know what better action to do there. But it should have been Scythe Worker. That would have been better, but don't we need sow and start player sleeping corner if it doesn't flip? Oh, Fofo, yeah, you're actually right. Sorry, you're correct. I need to take the sow and then play the sleeping corner. I can't do anything else. Yeah, good call. We're currently start player, but Fofo's right. I don't actually have the sleeping corner down, and I can't play sleeping corner next round because I'm harvesting my crops. So I'll have to take a sow action, and then I'll need to play an improvement to get sleeping corner down. Although, actually, maybe I could take clay. I could sow and then take clay and then Reno sleeping corner next round, or start player sleeping corner the round after. I don't have to play sleeping corner in round 12. Because I can afford to play Sleeping Corner around 13. Although, where's my food again? Ugh. Ugh. We'll see. I'm actually pretty surprised the 2 boar are still sitting on the board too. I thought people were hungry, but apparently no longer. But I'm going to be a little bit sad if the animals just keep piling up, because I really hope animal pairs are tough for my opponents in the end game. But do we need Sleeping Corner? Oh, well, yeah, so that's... Okay, I see. Maybe that's what Fofo is also going to think about. We do have a 5-room family here, a 5-room family here. I mean, the problem is red could reasonably go for it. And if either of these players start player... My general experience has been that bad players love to start player in the late game. They think it's way more powerful than it is. They'll start player not in order to get it. But maybe they won't. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, red... I don't know. Red's already shown a willingness to overstart player, in my opinion. It was just early before it benefited me enough, but... Red still SP Nada early, right? I'll harvest this additional grain. Come on, grow. Grow, grow, grow. Grow is what we need. Do. Family growth. Or urgent wish for children, sorry. Must use revised terms. We're discarding a boar and a cow. Yep. Don't have room for them. Don't have time for them. Also, I forgot about my wood situation. It's a little annoying here, actually, to play Sleeping Corner, because it means I'm not going to max stables. I'm just not going to, like, I need to also do a stable move. So actually, my round might be a little... I might be a little limited on what I can do. But growth does flip. Okay, well, that's a big... That's pretty big, at least. I might still be competitive for this win, then. Even with mucking up the fencing versus plowing stuff. If I didn't let Replicat plow as much in the mid-game. Ugh, yeah, that's so sad. But anyhow, we're beyond that. Things are still pretty good here. Again, I have a 5-point sow action. I have 3 growths. Is 14 points. I have a 3-point stable. I still have 3 more points of breeding. Like, I have a lot of points coming. The food is definitely going to get sketchy. But we'll try to figure it out. Because we're a good player. Correct, Fofo. We are a good player. And so we flipped growth. There's 3 boars in terms of food. This is crazy, actually. I guess my opponents are all fed enough, even though they have pretty large families. Yeah, I mean, the manservant's doing work, but I still think red probably should just take the pile of boar. But there's no crazy wood action, so I'm a fan of that. I do need a sow action, so I probably will just sow if I'm allowed to. If I can't sow, it probably is just 4 clay, so that I can reno. Because reno's good, given that I did this silly thing. I kind of wish I could get 1 more clay, because clay oven's still nice. There's still a well, yikes. I don't think I have time for it, but wish I had time for it. Maybe I'll still have time for it later in this game, but I can't worry about it now. I need to build stables. Actually, maybe it's just 3 stables, sorry. 3 stables if I can't sow, because I do need to build stables by the round 13 harvest. Because I need room to breed everything. I really want to end at 5 boar, 4 cows, 6 sheep, because each of those is another point then. But yeah, I'll take sow. God, I don't even know if I can afford to grow, right? The food is gonna get to me as well. Can't I use cultivation if you can't plow? Yeah, I can. So I can use this space if I can't plow. So I should be able to get at least a sow action, but I'd rather just sow here and get it out of the way. Because it's pretty mandatory. I mean, I might just be getting grow next round without having to play Sleeping Corner, but... All right, we get a pretty 5-point sow action there. We can play sleeping corner if we need to. Eating grain is okay. Yeah, eating some grain is okay. It's not that points costly. But I still do have a lot of food. I owe a lot of food, and I don't have super clear answers for it. It's possible, I guess. Maybe I still get a clay oven in the final round. Maybe I take five clay next round is a pretty good action. Trying to aim to Reno clay oven in the final round or something. That's a decent sequence. My opponents still do need to take wood. I'm a fan that my opponents all still need to take wood. The other thing my opponents need to do is that there's not many fence actions left in the game. Red just took 3 wood, but I really would have liked to see red fence there. Right? Red has hedgekeeper, just fence, but having kids is expensive. One day you're excited about growing, next day it's like, what is all the extra bills and mouths to feed? Yeah, it is stressful, right? Like, how did that happen? Like, I was so excited that family growth flipped, and now I'm like, oh, what an obligation. Got an animal tamer now. Somebody can take these animals are crazy. I think red really messed up actually by taking 3 wood. Replicat's very likely fencing here would be my bet. It's such a strong action, and Replicat's a very good player. There's so much fence pressure. There's very few fence actions left. Red very much should have fenced rather than take 3 wood. They get 3 wood on fencing because of hedgekeeper, but they put delightful pressure on the fence action. They also would have enabled themselves to actually take the boar here. Instead, I don't really know what red's other actions are going to be, but should we put ourselves into position to rend fence just to put more fence pressure on the game? Probably not. The reason I say that is because green should fence here. As long as, like, I think green is going to get a fence action without having to fight for it too much. And green is still the only one that I really care about. I think these other players are just not competitive here. And yeah, green is fencing, but yeah. I also don't need to fence anymore, yeah. I mean, that was part of the point. I fenced 15. That was part of me delaying. I could have got the big country out a little bit faster if I had been willing to sacrifice just a little bit, but I said not, but... All right, green fences is at only 29, so maybe I shouldn't be as frightened of green as I have been, but green still has a 5-point reno for sure, plus it comes with a stable. 6-point reno, has 2 more growths, that's 12 easy points, a couple of animals. Green's feeding is okay, but also going to cause themselves small problems. But the animal grabs are crazy for next round for green, and nobody else is taking them. Red builds stables just to be able to take the animals. This is a clear indication that red really messed up. Yeah, red's really sequencing wrong, but they are the weak players, so whatever that happens. But red presumably isn't start player and presumably takes the boar. Is getting both an oven and a hearth overkill? Not necessarily. Like, just making sure that you efficiently feed is very good. I think the real reason there's quite a bit of food pressure left in this game is nobody's using the guilds. Nobody's using a well. Right? Everybody went for animals, and then somehow they let me take all the animals, right? Like, I don't quite understand how all of their feeding plan was eat animals, but not actually take the animals. And it's created some really weird food pressure. Because there's not, like, the bottom feeding is not really piling up that much, but, like, there's a crazy 5 read action. If somebody built the basket maker's workshop, that's great food. If somebody just built the well earlier, that's pretty good food. If somebody builds the pottery earlier, it's good food, but... It looks like I am going to be able to just family growth, and then I can actually build max stables because I'm getting 1 more wood delivered to me. So that's pretty sweet. And then I might just take the 4 food myself or something in here. But I definitely am just taking the grow. Because I'll get 1 more wood in order to play Sleeping Corner next round in order to guarantee that kid if I need to. But this is working out because I can max stables now. I currently need to eat 3 grain, which isn't the biggest of deals. Teal is still using some mushroom collecting here. Who took the boar last round, by the way? I missed that. Was it Red? Red didn't wind up with the boar. Teal took the boar? Yeah, Teal took and ate the boar. Or didn't eat them, put them in his house. Duh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, green's going to take the cows, though. That's very strong. I mean, green is still my biggest opponent and probably... I don't know, it's close between us. I really want to build stables this round. This is saving me some grain, which I think could prove useful. The real question is, do I get another clay action? I would really love to get 6 clay next round so I can reno clay oven. The safer thing might be to take 5 clay here and just assume that I get the clay oven and can reno clay oven next round. I mean, it eats a lot of grain, but God, does it help my food situation. This is a little tricky. Just taking 6 clay here so I can reno clay oven next round is pretty nice. But then I need to stable, and then I would eat 3 raw grain. I'd have 3 grain left in supply. I mean, it's like I'm eating 2 points worth of grain then, probably, to fully feed. And even then, I probably need a bit more food. But if both of these clay piles go, I probably don't get to reno it with anything, which feels even worse. Let's go for a clay pile. I'm gonna wind up with like almost no points of grain though. I'm gonna eat a lot of raw grain to make this work, but it still might be okay. I mean, Replicat has some actions left. He doesn't actually have the reno parts yet. Oh no, he does because of frame builder. So he has reno. So, I mean, he still has a 6-point reno, is 38, still has 2 gross, 41, 44, breeds another point, 45, and then maybe has a sow for a couple of points and then a free action. I mean, he's very close to 50. I am going to eat 2 points of grain, but I'm breeding 3 points. So that puts me at 40. I am going to build stables is 44. I'm going to reno with an improvement is 48. I'm going to play sleeping corner 49. I'm going to grow is 52 plus a free action, although I still need more food. So I'm at like 52, and oof. He took 3 clay, or he just took clay. So this is annoying because he can build a clay oven. Yeah, he can clay oven on me, which is annoying. I would think he's gonna grow instead of clay oven. But if he does take the clay oven, my food situation becomes even sketchier. Although, does it become that sketchy? Isn't there? Oh, there's a 5 clay hearth. I was about to say I could build a hearth and eat some of my animal points instead, but I can't even easily do that. Red doesn't get to fence again because red is being crazy. If you play Hedgekeeper, everybody, just take fence actions. That's my lesson. I guess he wanted to really activate Shepherd's Crook is probably the problem, but just fence. Teal is at least winding up at an okay score, but I mean, the rest of us are at like 50. Teal is going to be maybe hitting 40. Teal did have Loom, by the way, which I kind of thought. But Loom is not a good enough reason to play Sheep Whisperer. Just don't do it. Honestly, the real issue, like just looking, like Teal has played a lot of like a C tier card, a D tier card, probably more like C tier, C tier, D tier. This is like a B. This is like an A, but like just a lot of like really crummy stuff. Replicat is probably just donking the clay oven here. That's annoying, but he's choosing not to grow, which is really kind of confusing to me. Like he has a growth action, and so he's gonna get 3 less points on his family, but he is gonna be able to build the clay oven. I guess it feeds him, and that's probably the issue. He probably couldn't feed, which is why he passed on the grow. But taking the clay oven is a bummer because yeah, that means that my 6 clay action was not very good here. I mean, it still lets me reno, but yikes. That was not what we wanted to see. I mean, I can reno sleeping corner, I guess, so that at least saves me an action. I could just open next round with like 5 food, and then just try to take 4 food and then reno sleeping corner grow. It's pretty sad, but it's where it looks like I'm at. I mean, although not family growing next round is actually a big bummer because it means that somebody else gets it, and that somebody else would probably be Replicat. So my first action probably has to be grow, and then I just hope that nobody wants the 5 food that badly. I mean, the other option is, how am I blocking Replicat? He could just grow normally. The reason I'm blocking Replicat is because Replicat could grow and then grow normally. So, because he's still at 3 family members. So I don't want to let Replicat grow without and grow with. This is why I'm so shocked, Deranged, that he didn't find a way to grow this round. This is why I was pretty surprised he went for the clay oven line and why I didn't see it coming. I didn't think he was going to take clay and reno instead of growing at some point this round. Like, he could have so baked and grown, which is what I thought he was going to do. This is annoying to me because I really did want the clay oven to help me feed. It was good points for me, but like, whatever. I think in many ways he's hurting himself just as much here. Like, we'll see. But red could grow, right? What are you talking about? Red can't grow. I don't understand. Deranged, I don't understand. Like, you're not making sense to me. Red has a full house. Teal has a full house. Green has 2 empty rooms. Red can grow without. I can grow without. Green can grow without. I'm still staying star player. If I don't take this action, Green will take this action probably. And then this action is my theory. He has enough food now. You missed that red was full house. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, the problem is if I don't block grow, I think green still gets 2 grows. Now the question is, oh wow, the 5 food doesn't exist. Okay, so team, our food is a little sketch. Who's renovating this round? Okay, Teal's not renovating. So I mean, one option is I grow, take 2 clay, reno hearth, and then I can eat a bunch of my animals for food, which is something I don't super want to do, but it's way more efficient than any of my other feeding options. So I mean, I think that has to be the line. I don't love the idea of a 2 clay action, but I mean, eating the boar is like 6 food to a point. I have 1 extra sheep. That's fine, right? Like, I think that's probably my round. It's a little bit of a bummer, but I don't see how I can feed without getting this hearth. Replicat doesn't have enough clay in order to take the hearth on me. It is pretty sad that I don't have enough food here because I totally could grow and then maybe take the stone and build the well. That's what I would love to do, but I just don't have the food. But I'm definitely just going to block grow from the table. I think it's just the easiest way to block points on the table. Replicate definitely has a growth action. He'll probably take the boar as a 3-point action. So I mean, maybe it doesn't matter that much, but he takes boar, he grows, he breeds a point, and then he has one other action. So he gets to 46 plus one extra action is maybe a sow action is a couple of points. I could see him maybe reaching 49. I'm not sure I can beat 49 anymore. My food is an issue. I can fish and eat grain. It's eating a lot of points again, though, right? How effective is that versus just take 2 clay, Reno, hearth, and then I still have 1 more point move in me? Which actually, yeah, I only have only one more point move left. I don't really have points. Yeah, I mean, green taking the clay oven definitely slowed me down a lot here. I think it is 2 clay and hearth. I think that's the safest line here for me. It gets me 3 more points to 49. I'm still breeding 2 points to 51, but I'm eating at least a point, but still 51. I said Replicate's gonna max at 40, or not 51. 49, oh no, 51. Eating a point takes me to 50, and then I take a food action. Yeah, I think this works. I think this brings me to 50. I think Replicate's maxing at 49. Teal's definitely not going to reach us. Although Teal does still have a Reno coming. Is Teal going to catch us, though? Teal has 4 actions to make 11 points. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, I think it's Reno Hearth. I unfortunately have to take a clay action to make that happen, but I think this is okay. Nobody can take the hearth on me. It's just impossible. Nobody has enough clay, so this is guaranteed. Yeah. I can eat 2 boar and a sheep. That's 8 food, and then I need 1 more food is a point. Although 1 more, so any food is a point. So it does give me any other action. I can play Sleeping Corner, for example, and eat a grain or a veg. But Teal's farm looks pretty nice. Yeah, Teal's farm turned out pretty well here. This plow sow that Teal got that I gave him here is actually really nice. That was a huge plow plus sow. So yeah, Teal's wound up with a nice, very nice game actually by the end. Him just being second for all these final rounds and getting all the plow sow and stuff has been very nice for him. The fact that Teal got to fence last round too is pretty wild again, right? Red has a hedge keeper, and Red's just been way too late on the fencing. Red would have got so much value out of fencing earlier, but Teal did take the boar last round. I'm assuming Teal sows here. Like, Teal can sow a grain for a point, sow a veg for a point, and then just sow. Well, he doesn't need more. But I see a 2-point sow action, I guess. And then a grow. Oh, he can grow with an improvement, though. Oof, that's the thing I've been forgetting. This is, oof. Actually, Teal maybe is beating me. This 4 clay is for Bottles. Bottles was in the draft, I'm pretty sure. Shit. That could be a problem. If Teal has Bottles on Family Growth, Teal probably does still beat me. Because that would take him up to 50. They breed a point is 51. The Bottles costs them no points in food. So 51 is right. Well, maybe I tie them, and so then it's leftover resources, which would be me. I don't know. It's gonna be very close. I'm gonna Reno Hearth right here, right now. I wish I had just 1 more action. God, I could take the stone, Reno well, and build Hearth if I had 1 more action free, but I just don't. But yeah, Hearth is the only way I can efficiently feed out of this situation. But yeah, I'm at 49. I'm breeding. I currently am breeding points, but I'm eating a point. So yeah, I mean, I'm at 50. I'm at 50, and then I have a 1-point action left. Leftover resources is the tiebreaker. Yeah, it's an exciting one to watch. Yeah, this is very close. Teal is not finding a way to Reno, which seems wrong to me. Teal, well, maybe Teal doesn't have better things to do. Teal's food is also iffy. Teal has wool blankets, which is why he's not renovating. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm still just not worried about teal catching up. This is grow bottles though, which is making it very close. Yep, there is the bottles. Oh shit, teal's actually right. Teal's growing 2 points. I forgot. Teal has 52. I can't reach 52. I don't think there's any way. I'm at 51 if I was fully fed, but I'm not. I have to eat 2 boars, so I'm at 50. Eat a sheep. I still have to eat another point, actually. Yeah. I can't do it. There's no way. I'm going to end at 50. Teal, or green is still going to win this one. That's such a shame. I probably lost this game by just fencing and plowing in the wrong order because I just wasn't worried about it. I don't think I have anything better to do than just take food. None of these things matter. I don't have enough hidden points here in any which way. So yeah. Ugh, what a shame. What a shame. Oh well. This is what a lot of my games have been lately. A lot of my games lately have been I just keep taking close seconds and feeling like I don't get enough breaks. Although this one, I do blame myself a bit. I definitely took some actions that are questionable. The Reedstone food obviously is very questionable. It provided very little utility in my game. I'm winding up with an extra stone. The Reed was only helpful to Reno, and the Reno is a very questionable sequence when it takes an action to gain the Reed, an action to gain the clay just to be able to Reno. So I wish I had just played Scythe Worker there rather than take Reedstone food. That potentially frees me up to do something else. It might not be enough. Green taking the clay oven turns out to be an annoyingly clever move. I thought he would just want to grow, but taking the clay oven away from me was maybe enough to kind of swing things, because if I could just take the clay oven, I also maybe would have had time to just take the stone and build the well or something. I would have still had to eat a few more grain points then, but might have worked out. So yeah, whatever. Can't win them all. I mean, this was a fun big country game at least. I mean, small scale farmer, run full big country, have sleeping corner guaranteed in the back is nice, but just not enough here. Because, yeah, I mean, I'm reaching 51. But Teal has an extra veg. So he eats the extra veg, so he's fully fed and then breeds. So Teal reaches 52 on me. Or not Teal. Green reaches 52. Teal winds up with a fine game, but it's going to be mid to low 40s. Red did too many bad things. I hypothetically was sitting after the weakest player this game at least, which usually is enough. I probably got past a few things in the draft I shouldn't have been. Mostly that like plow driver that I kept passing around, but it's one of the like things I am like, the fact that plow driver and big country doesn't work together is a little annoying because they both get passed in the draft too much. So I often am in this position of like, I take plow driver very highly because I think it's very good, but then I also like to take big country very highly. The other problem is both plow driver and big country encourage these small house strats, and yeah, the problem is at weaker tables, players just don't police the board well enough because they don't eat efficiently. They play too many inefficient actions. Like this sheep whisper is a very inefficient action. Like it's really bad. It just slows you down from everything else you should be doing. But why is plow driver a small house strat? I mean, it doesn't have to be, but usually you do 3 rooms if you're trying to get plow driver. That's often the most effective way to go for it. You can try to do 4-room plow driver, but by the time you have 4 rooms and you're trying to fight for growth and then you're trying to renovate, by the time you do all that, and then you're actually ready to by the time you do all that and then you're actually ready to renovate, you often just cost yourself too much. Like basically I guess my point is like you'll often get your renos out of the way and then you're kind of able to plow driver, but do you get enough wood to fence? Do you like how many fields are you actually getting? It's like you can go for a bigger house plow driver though. Like it can work, but 52 to 50. Yeah, I did wind up having to eat one more point than I thought, but oh well, not too bad. Lose a little elo, which is sad, but this is kind of where my life's been lately. I just keep jumping back and forth. I'm just not quite the guy winning, but I need to prioritize strategies that let me grow a little faster is really the big lesson. Just because being able to control the board is important a lot of times against weaker players because there's too many good actions. And then the other big issue here is just, yeah, I mean, I really messed up the ordering though, right? Like, I still win this game if I just don't screw up. Because if I plow, Replicat doesn't get the plows he wants. And so then Replicat isn't going to sow as many of his crops. So he's not going to accelerate his food as fast as he's able to this game. Hey, Replicat. Yeah, nice. Really nicely done slowing me down too. I should have just won this game. If I just plow and then fence in the right order, I get one more point of big country. I get 2 more food. More importantly, I don't have to take that dead action of 3 food or whatever I took in round 6 instead in order to feed, or that was round 7. So yeah, that was just really bad of me. If I just don't do those things, I should just win this game because I buy myself an action back that doesn't have to be a 3 food action during the mid game. And I buy myself 1 extra point of big country, and I slow Replicat's crops down. That's probably enough. That's probably enough differences there to do it. But it's not what I did. I let Replicat block my plows. And I was sloppy, and I got punished. And Replicat did some clever stuff at the end. I did not see Replicat taking a clay oven. I thought Replicat would just grow to 5, but that's also not what happened. Leaving all the wood for opponents is always the sad thing too. The 6 wood action that just was sitting there for Replicat without having to star player was annoying, but actions, you don't need the most actions to win though. Efficiency still matters. I mean, we're the guys with the 2 least actions and competitive for the win. There's a lot of skill in this game still, so. And whatever, I can't win them all, but yeah, I am kind of hoping to really push my elo up there. I've been watching a lot of the top level 500 people playing, and I do think they're just, ugh. You got a bit lucky at the beginning, was handed the first grow. Oh, I mean, you also, yes, all of that is absolutely correct too, right? Like, you got to take the wood actions that you wanted and then play Brushwood Collector and play Childless. Like, all of that was pretty slick. No, it was a good plan. But yeah, I mean, right? You kind of did get your kind of ideal stage 1, and then yeah, Teal doing that start player for large greenhouse was so bad. It's just such a dumb bad action out of Teal. I'm not sure that red start player is there or if you start player, but Teal start playing for you is just very wrong. So, but whatever. I mean, you made a lot of very smart moves throughout this. You played a very nice game. I don't really feel bad about losing to it. You did just a lot of good, smart actions throughout. So I am more so sad that I chose to go full, and I'm not really sad about going full big country. I just sequenced it wrong. I should have gone for it, and then yeah, maybe I catch a few breaks. I mean, I got lucky enough too with growth. If growth doesn't come in 12, you just win this game by a mile, honestly. So I mean, that was a pretty big break for me too. I was gambling pretty hard on that. And whatever, some games just don't break the right way. I'm just on a slight, like, I'm on a pretty big run of seconds right now, and it's just getting to me a little bit because I'm ready for an Agricola game to just kind of be handed to me again, or not even just handed, but like, right, I'm playing a lot of strong games and they're just breaking slightly away from me most of the time. This one I did play slightly wrong, But yeah, I'm on a streak of 4 seconds right now. 4 very close seconds. Lose by a point. Lose by tiebreak. The Tepemba one wasn't close, but God, this was a gross one. My opponents did very negligent things and then lose by 2 points. Again, though, whatever. I'm complaining about not just winning every game, and at least I'm playing better players now, and I will win against some strong players again. This guy was rated 500 at the start of this game, and I thought he was doing terrible things, though, so that's part of where I don't trust the ratings yet, and I still think right now is a great time to try to gain ELO. But I need to play some more of the Japanese players I don't trust. But we'll see. Anyhow, I should get on to doing other things. I might wind up playing another Agricola game tonight. Not sure I'll stream it. Terra Mystica wise, I'm not sure when I'm streaming more Terra Mystica. I kind of have just been really playing a lot of Agricola. I'm not that into Terra Mystica Arena right at the moment, but I easily could kind of get back into it a bit and try to compete. I just don't know if I'll get that desire yet, but we'll see. But Terra Mystica wise, this weekend is Mindsport Olympiads tournament. I'll be quasi helping and probably streaming a bit of that. So that's Saturday and Sunday. US, it's kind of like mid-morning through mid-afternoon times in the United States. Feel free to go to Mindsport Olympiads page, check it out. It's pretty cool. If you care about Terra Mystica and stuff, hopefully we'll have a pretty good community crowd for that one. The Agricola tournament for Mindsports Olympiad is later. It's like August 29th. I'm also helping run that one a bit. That one is on Bois de Jeu with the original decks. I don't really like playing Bois de Jeu, but I probably will at least play in it. Might stream that one as well. We'll see. Otherwise, general streaming is still going to kind of just be a little bit iffy and a little on my whim, but we'll see. Probably be a little more active this week because I don't have a ton going on compared to recently, but we'll see. Who knows? Regardless, fun times here. It was good to at least be able to do a low action, strategy. Don't care about grow at all and see how well it works. And it's fun to make it, nearly work and nearly win. So, yeah. Anyhow, that was good. See everybody around later.